Well, I think my opinion on grief can be summed up in the words of Alan Harrington from The Immortalist when he says, "Any philosophy that accepts death must itself be considered dead. Its questions meaningless, its consolations worn out." I agree with him. I don't think there's any way to make peace with death, with mortality, with the human condition. The fact that we can ponder the infinite cosmos, yet we're ultimately food for worms, I find heart-wrenchingly paralyzing, depressing, sad beyond all measurable limits. The idea that everything and everyone you love is going to be taken away from you is unacceptable to me. I think it's just unacceptable being okay with those terms imposed on us by said universe. You know, if the cosmos is comfortable with entropy, that's one thing. It doesn't mean I have to be comfortable with entropy. In fact, I'm a member of the kingdom of life, and life is anti-entropic. Life moves towards greater complexity and organization. As Kurzweil says, more knowledge, more science, more, sprouting possibilities. And some people say that maybe death is an evolutionary design, meant to get rid of the old in order to make room for the new. And that may have been a stepping stone, a necessary rehearsal, a way of spreading the diversity of information. Sex and death, genes mixed together, create something new, kill off the old shells. But what if we're able to create new rules? What if we master biotechnology? We create software that writes its own hardware. We start to change the rules of life. We start creating that diversity. We start to be the sort of mind at work here. You know, it would be intelligent design at last, but the point being, death would no longer be necessary, and we could create a world without loss and without those encounters with grief. And that may sound like a sort of manic fantasy of sorts, but I think that that's what mankind has always done through his art, is articulate his desire to be eternal, to be infinite. Even Manuel de Unamuno wrote, "Nothing is real that is not eternal." That is why we write poetry and we build cathedrals that try to create transcendence as a topographical statement. That's why we eternalize beatific moments and make gorgeous statues and write amazing songs. We long to eternalize ourselves. We want to say, as Alain de Botton said, we want to carve our names. We want to say, I was here, I exist, I felt something, and I matter, and we matter. And that's why death has become an imposition on the human race and is no longer acceptable, in my words.